Get the funk out of my face. 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 Get the funk out of my face.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to a new edition of Thinking for Free. Haven't been around much lately, but this is a fluid conversation between myself and whoever's watching this. So I would like to pick up with our view of the world. No, it sounds like a big thing to tackle, bite off, but really it's not. It's perception. I think a great place to start is looking backwards. When you don't know what the future is, the next best thing is you do know what the past was. So if we look throughout history and we see how this system that mankind's developed to barter, trade, make money, status, power, the movement of these forces, and we see that this system always collapses, or erodes is a better picture, I think, of it. So what we see in America today are very interesting, what I call them, flags. Flags of history. Woo, history, going, hey, this is very similar. Hey, we're at that stage again. Oh, there's no reason to affect these things. I think Alex Jones's and Glenn Beck's and these types of hyperbolic reaction actually don't help the normal individual take in everything and adapt, because that's what we want to do, right? We want to think, we want our minds free, clear, and we just have to adapt to the world, right or wrong. Okay? So we're at a stage, it appears, some flags say certain things, like our monetary system, our dollar, is going down. Now, if you look back at the flags of history, when a small group or country or government or whatever you like to call the powers that are pulling the monetary strings, some would just say bankers, okay, eventually the monetary system of a place that's over-leveraged will go down. Happened in Rome, happened with Britain, is happening to us. We're more like the British that the Americans in this country overthrew than we are today like the people who overthrew the British. So we need to incorporate this into our world view, okay? Start looking at facts. Don't be persuaded by the Fox News types or others. It's not just Fox. Most of the media does it, truthfully. Don't be persuaded. Just take out the information, whether you're reading an article, listening to a story, and then challenge yourself to put the context together. It might take an extra hour a week, right? Investigate one story. Just pick one story that you really want to understand, and instead of accepting what's being told to you, which I guarantee you is less than half the truth, then I think you'll feel more empowered. Thinking for free. So anyway, enough of my jibber jab on that. The point I really wanted to make tonight was incorporating a new world view. So we see our monetary system going down, which is a big flag. We see just small enclaves of money in a few people's hands, whether it's a corporation or a name. We have taken the human being in this country, at least in America, and we have really desensitized the capacity to relate with one another. Everything is driven by profit. So human beings in this country are now very transparently being put into the back seat, you know, like Rosa Parks in the day. You can't sit in the front, you know. But now it's not based on race, it's based on value, money. And what we have seen is the value in this country go shh. Now, I'm not going to get into all the economics of it. There are a lot more articulate people who you can see on YouTube explain it. But it is important to recognize this, not to fall into the conditioned behavior of being pacified, that everything's okay, and then watching another episode of American Idol. So remember, folks, we need to incorporate this new view that we are living in a eroding empire, okay? That value of things we are conditioned to, food, land, even our jobs, you know, are all going to change drastically over time. And instead of being afraid of it, or denying it, okay, or trying to defeat some phantom enemy, what I think is important is that we recognize what real value is. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. There's a lot of crap being sold out there right now. And it's not necessarily a bad thing that these things disappear. So anyway, remember the other major thing I think we need to incorporate, and we all know the stories of the wiretapping, the corporatization of the government. In other words, the money is now owed so much to the companies from the government that they're the lenders. So the lenders call the shots, as we all know, and if you've ever borrowed any money. Or they have more leverage, you know. I mean, you can run and hide and try not to pay it, you know, but we all know how that works. Someone explained it the other day great. He said, it's really no different than the Genovese or the Gambino families. You know, you got the Republicans, you got the Democrats. They're politicians who, in an ideal state, serve the interest of the public. As we all know, there are so many interests in the public that it's not an easy job to be a good politician. On a good note is realizing that you need to trust more than ever your own sensibilities. Don't trust what someone's saying just because the words are coming out, like they do on Fox all the time, right? Fair and balanced. When it's exactly the opposite. It's a point of view that's very strongly echoed throughout every show they do. So this is called doublethink, right? George Orwell, who wrote 1984, would call this doublethink. Well, it happens every day. Every day in the media. Just give yourself quiet time to really think. And don't be afraid to think through what's really going on. Okay? Don't be confused by the emotions that you see from the Glenn Becks and the Alex Joneses and all those broadcasters who are trying to kind of puppeteer, you know, your fear level. Look at it for yourself. There's always a solution. There's a Chinese symbol, right? I forget, it means crisis and opportunity. It's not a circle. I don't know why I did that, but I don't know. Go look it up. Tell me. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm under 10 minutes. I babbled a lot. If you hung in with me, I hope you kind of got my point. Most important thing, folks, this. Thinking for free.